Alright, what's up guys? This is going to be a super long video. I'm going to talk about selling a chunk of my collection, and I'll talk about digital, whatever, GTA 6 coming out, and everybody all panicking about digital only future. I don't have anything, I'm not going to do edits. I don't have a script in front of me, so I'm just going to wing it. I'll probably pause it a lot. It'll probably take me a long time to do the video. So start off with the collection part of it. You see there's empty shelves already, so there, boom, spoilers. I did sell, and I'm showing the Atari 2600 stuff on purpose because this is the one collection I kept, and I kept about 50 games on top of this, so maybe about 400 or so. I kept like one or two games per system, whatever I had an emotional attachment to, or somebody gave me, or I bought, or the most played, or the next to be played, or whatever. I tried to avoid a lot of the. I didn't take like like the rarest one because I was doing a sale, or whatever, and I told the guy I would just pick whatever I wanted to play next. I wouldn't pick like all the rare ones. So we had a deal. I'm going to give numbers, but I'm gonna be vague about it. I'm gonna give a lot of numbers because I'm gonna give you a little insight on why I did it, what's been going on in my life. Like really, to start off, I sold about 3,050 items, only games. I had about 3,450 because my app didn't log everything. Games and manuals and empty boxes. That was like everything combined. I didn't technically need the money. I do have my reasons for it, and I did spend the money wisely. So I don't. I'm not sad about it. Over the years, um, I used to play more all the time. I used to stream all the time. I used to play games every day. It turned into more of me just testing them, and I just give it a quick little run, and then that was it. Or like I do with my son, every once in a while I'd break out a system and I would play all the games. And then it slowly turned into I just didn't even test them anymore. I would just put, if I bought television games, I just threw them on the shelf. And who cares? Nobody cares about television, and most of them aren't that expensive anyway. Even though I was starting to get to, I needed just the most of the rare ones left. I already lost my train of thought. I just worked a double shift. So we'll go that route for a second. So no, I have not been working overtime the last couple of months. So I technically did I need the money? Yes, but could I have worked overtime? Yes. I just decided to enjoy my life. I haven't, even with my time off, I haven't been streaming. I did buy a lot of games since I did my last collection video. I'm gonna pause it because I gotta regather my thoughts. All right, I'm back. I forgot where I was going with the work thing. I think I just forgot that quick. Damn. So I was gonna say, so technically, I did need the money, but not really. I came across a large sum of money. I'm not gonna say how or numbers. A couple months ago, and then just recently, a large sum of money again. So twice in the last 2 months. So I could have avoided not selling the collection. I've avoided not selling the collection at least 3 times over 20 something years. I think there was like one time I just wanted to give it away like early on because I was tired of the hoard and I was spending too much money and it was becoming too much of a hassle. But there was one or two other times where I might have sold off like 100 NES carts at one time or something. I would have been close to completing it. Or there's been a few times where like things break down, you need new cars and stuff, and you just got money sitting on the shelves. I mostly didn't sell it because of how much old stuff I had, like Atari 2600. So like half of my stuff was like TRS 80, Commodore VIC 20, and Odyssey 2, and like all these old systems in television that nobody really cares about. So I never wanted to take such a loss on like what if I pay $10 for a game, I don't want $1. You know what I'm saying? And most half the retro shops really don't even want like Atari or Intellivision stuff. So there's that too. Like my local shop, I think they take in, if you bring in a couple here and there, they'll take it in. But if you brought in like 100 or two, they're not gonna take them. Even if they're rare, it doesn't matter. They just go by what sells, what goes in and out of their stores quickly. They don't want stuff sitting on the shelves. So what was I gonna say? Stop becoming so much of a hobby. Stop doing it so much. Yes, I technically need the money. It was taking a lot of time off work. I literally just had 9 out of 11 days off, and I only worked 2.5 days the week after that, and I have 10 out of 11 days off next month. And I quit my second job. I had 2 jobs, so I have been doing a lot more time spending at home on the yard with the family, going out, doing normal adult life stuff that doesn't have to do with video games. I'm still doing like my movie night thing where we watch movies, and instead of me zoning out for 2 to 4 hours every day watching playing video games, I watch a movie with the family if I have the time off and I'm not working a double. I normally work like 4 to 5 doubles a week every week on the regular for months at a time before I need a break, and then I just take like a week or 2 off and I go right back to it. So that's usually my normal schedule. That's probably going to be my schedule for the rest of my life, just because I have somewhat of an expensive lifestyle. I don't want to give it up. I like traveling. I mostly do day trips now. We haven't done so many vacations lately, but I do like at least 26 to 52 day trips a year, where we go to restaurants or go hiking or just end up shopping or going just picking some beach or park, someplace we've never been to before, just to get out. So I'll give you, I don't really want to give you the long, boring rundown on everything I spend money on, but I'll give you an example at least. Maybe I will, but I'll give you at least an example of what I did with the last chunk of money of just selling these video games. So one, I'm stupid, and I have 2 Mercedes Benzes, and I bought them brand new. I dropped about $7,000 on one and paid it off, and I dropped about $1,000 on another, just the normal payment. I just paid $2,000 in car taxes or whatever, so that's like $10,000 I just shelled out in the last, I think, like day or two. Even more than that. There you go. I bought a new fridge, stove, and dishwasher with the warranty and removal and taxes and fees and all that BS. I think yesterday it was like $4,500. What else big did I do with the money? A new mower. Obviously, I went out to restaurants. I don't vlog anymore, but I went out to at least 3 or 4 restaurants over the last couple weeks. I've been at the casino. I did not gamble. I don't post those vlogs anymore. I don't do those vlogs. Again, more enjoying my life. I enjoy those hikes and all those trips and all those restaurants. And it's not like I edited those videos anyway, like super at all, pretty much. But I just don't. Everything revolves around I'm getting old, and I want to enjoy my time, and I don't want to waste my time. And the amount of money just sitting there on the shelves versus things that I could do with it in life, kind of caught up. So I'll try to give you a super quick rundown, like briefly, on like what I've been through in the last like year or two with finances or house stuff, or to give you some kind of understanding of like why this stuff, as I get older, it's not so important to me. Hopefully I remember to talk about everything about my son, and I was planning on leaving it to him, or he was gonna have to do something with it. Hopefully I don't forget that and I get to that. I already forgot where I was going with the other thought. I've been up for like 20 hours right now. It's been a long day. Okay, so I was gonna give you the quick rundown. So like, I don't know, like a year or two ago, a couple years ago, it was like $10,000 for the furnace. Had to have the whole thing replaced. I did a washer and dryer. That was like 1,500. Um, what I do? I just gave my wife like 4 grand. She had to fix one of her check engine light went off in the Benz. That was like 3,000 something. Gave my son a couple thousand. Gave my brother like five. I paid off like 15,000 on credit cards. All my credit cards are at zero. I got a super high credit score right now. I'm trying to think of what else. I booked vacations. I bought clothes. I still need a new snowblower. I'm getting a new water heater. I paid off my Benz, so I'm trading in my Benz. I'm just gonna get a new car that's not this, instead of being 50 or 60,000 foreign car that costs so much money on maintenance. I'm just gonna get like a $30,000-$40,000 SUV and call it a day. I also have a shorter drive to work now, so I don't want to destroy it as much. But like I have a plumber coming on Tuesday to fix the toilet. I have multiple things wrong with it. I had the garbage disposal and outlets fixed. I'm trying to think what else we did here. It's mostly been a lot of appliances lately, or like everything mechanical, including my car, except for the central air has been replaced in the last year or two. So the only thing I'll need here in the next 5, maybe 10 years, when my solar panel lease is up on the house, is I'm gonna need a new roof, and it's probably gonna be like 15 grand. So these are like 15 grand for a new roof. These are things that like I would normally have to save up for. I usually only spend like 2 to 3 thousand a year on video games, but times that by 20 something years, and so it got up to almost 100,000. Um, So yeah, so I did like super important life things with it. It's not like I just went and blew the money at the casino, or just went and got a bunch of tattoos and painted my nails all the time. Um, I didn't go out and party. I did buy a new grill. Okay, I did have I did have a little small birthday party. I grilled out for like a couple days or a week after, because I had so much food. Um, what else major did I do? I'm trying to look around to see what I replaced or what's been bought, or what's new. Let me pause it. Let me gather my thoughts again. Okay, not important. Not really going to include my mortgage or rent mortgage in the equation, but just in the last 2 months, while I've been doing all these repairs, and while I sold the collection, I mean my mortgage was probably 5 grand. Um, so just in the last, I think like couple of weeks, I probably spent like 15, 20 grand, and the month or two before that, I probably spent about 25 or 30 grand, and still like my roof coming up in 5 or 10 years. I'll probably need another 15 grand. I'll probably need the central air. Those are the biggest things I'll have to replace. Everything else will be new and under warranty. So I always managed in the past to avoid selling the collection. So what happened now is obviously the lack of interest in it anymore, or my time, or what I'm willing to do with it. But I was also thinking about, a lot had to do with my son, and half of it is pre NES stuff that he would just not be into. I don't even think he would ever put them in and try them out. It would be mostly the Nintendo stuff, or the Mario's. He's not really into Pokemon, but it would be like the Mario's, and some other games here and there. Mostly the newer stuff, or like in the middle of game collecting, towards the modern. Um, I was gonna leave it for him just to have as a collection, but it started getting so big that really I got to the point where I could probably only fit like 500 or 1,000 more games in this room. I probably could have got up to 4,000 maybe, and I probably would have started. I probably would have had to. I was already planning to expand into the storage room and just take all the Atari 2600 stuff and just put that in the storage room and have that on display on shelves and stuff, and then so I could make all these available for another 1,000 or 2 games. So I was gonna do that, but really I feel like I would have left him more of a burden, because he he wouldn't have continued the collecting unless it was Mario stuff or stuff he cared about. Um, he wouldn't really have had to have maintained it really, but like fixing the systems or like everything would have just slowly just rotted. Um, I never planned on opening up my own store. I had thoughts of doing it. I never planned on opening up my own museum, even though I was at like 3,500. Like if you would have waited another 5 years, I probably would have had like 10,000 games. It would have been ridiculous. The way I buy games. He would have had to or open up an eBay store one day, or he would have had to sell all in one bulk lot. And by that point, maybe some of the like a lot of this old Atari junk might not have been working. You put it in, and some rare games might be $400 or $500. Might put it in, might not work. Then what are you gonna do? What's the price value gonna be in another 10, 20 years when all this stuff stops working, or when all these systems have been replaced to the point to where 50% of it is no longer the original system. They're just parts that were added or fixed afterwards. Even if they're the same, they're not the original anymore. It loses its value. It's not the same. Um, yeah. So I'm skipping around. This is going to be the least I've worked in the last decade this year, but it's also going to be probably the most money I made in any year in the last decade, just from the large sums of money that I came across. Um, I'm extremely happy about that. I'm finally going on like a really big vacation. I was gonna go crazy and book a trip to the Caribbean and spend like another 5K, but um, other things are more important, like the water heater, the central air, the future roof. I already booked a vacation. I'm going somewhere for a week. I'll have a good time. Maybe I'll vlog like a 30-second clip of where I go whenever I get to one of the places that might be cool. But I'm not gonna vlog where I'm there. I'm not gonna vlog the restaurants. I'm not gonna vlog me picking up video games. I don't really have. Ever since I sold them, so I have a stack of like 50 games I kept. I have not been down here to even wipe all the shelves that are empty. I have not even put up the 50 games that I kept. I have not played a video game since, and I've had plenty of time to. So I should be. So, like, what am I gonna collect now? Maybe since I kept it, obviously 2,600. Nobody else cares really. I know people care about it. People mostly my age and younger don't care about it. Um, it's usually like people usually like 5 or 10 years older than me, um, and we're dying off. So it's not a super popular thing to collect for, but I'll probably do it. I'll keep the legacy going right here on my shelf in my house. I'll keep it alive. At least everyone that comes through my house will be able to see it. What was I gonna say? See, I already lost my thought. I gotta pause again. All right, I was back. So I was saying, so I kept all my systems. Also, that's probably what I'll collect. Maybe once or twice a year, I'll just buy a system I don't have. I have like 84 or 5 systems. Um, I'll probably get to about 100 just buying different ones, and then I'm probably maxed out on systems I can think of that I don't have. I can think of like 10 right now, like off the top of my head, the main ones that I want. Um, I am not going to go for full sets or start going for like the just buying into like 50 in television games again. I'm not going to do it after I just sold everything off. If I collect games from now on, it's going to have to be something I play through or something I have some like memory or attachment to or plan to play it. And then that plan to play doesn't really work because I'll just buy 1,000 games and I'll plan to play all of them and just not play them. or have already played them in the past and already beaten the games and already played them. So like I hundreds of times over decades, I just don't want to play them anymore, or I'll put them in for 5 minutes and then be bored with it. Um, but yeah, more stuff broken here too. I forgot. Um, it's like $130. I gotta buy a new shelf. One of my shelves broke, fell over. A lot of the stuff I kept, like the Dick Smith Wizard stuff that Michael sent me, Silent Evil Experience, and the Hob sent me. I kept a lot of that stuff. A lot of the rare personal stuff I tried to keep. I still have my movie collection. I still have my music collection. I still have everything intact in this room. I still have all the TVs. I still have like all the extra stuff, like all the Game Genies and all the memory cards, and it's a lot. So I'll probably still keep it going. I'm gonna pause again because I already forgot where I was going again. All right, I give up on trying to regain my thoughts. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. Smoking is bad. It's the worst habit you could do. There you go. There's more money. I just started smoking after 10 years of quitting. Um, I guess I'll talk about the digital stuff, and if I can regather any of my thoughts about this room or about the collection. I know there's way way more stuff that I spent money on, and probably thousands left and right, that I just can't think of off the top of my head. I literally spent like what some people make in a year. I probably spent in the last couple months. It's stupid, and I still have more planned, and I'm still going on vacation. And when I come back from vacation, I'm still doing more stuff that I already have money set aside for. So I'll go take my cigarette break. I'll come back. I guess I'll talk about the GTA stuff. Um, I'll show what I kept, and I'll show the games. You got to give me some time. I'm gonna rebuild the shelf probably tomorrow and put back up everything that fell. And I have something coming in the May. It might already be on it's supposed to be out for delivery right now. I have one more thing that fell when it broke. That's what I was gonna say. When the shelves fell, the Dick Smith Wizard, the cassette module thing, got hit, and it doesn't eject now, so that's broken. Both those systems together were at least 1,000 or 1,500, with all the modules and stuff, and all the in the box, and all the manuals and big books to go with it, and the games. And then something else was like $80. I replaced it, so I gotta do that, and then I gotta wipe all these shelves down, and then I gotta put the 50 games back up. I really don't feel like doing another tour video. I just might do like a quick. The next time I buy a system, even if it's months from now, I might just be like, look, these are the 50. This is what my shelves look like now, or maybe I'll flash the pictures of it looking empty, or I took a picture of the pile of games that I kept. So it's a hot mess in here right now. So you can see the empty shelves. You can see stuff is gone. Literally everything should be full now. This is like all was this Odyssey 2. It was like 3 different shelves right here. So I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I don't know. I was gonna kind of give a shout out to the Game Store guy. He does. I don't know if he cared or not. I don't know. Nobody's gonna watch this channel anyway, or make all the way through this video anyway. But most of my collection is at. I'm gonna say the name wrong. I'm sorry. Frags Retro Game something. I don't know what it is. Still, I don't know. Center something. It's in Groton, Connecticut. So most of my collection is there. Some of the stuff was signed. Like all my Mortal Kombat games are signed. So, and there was some rare stuff. So he literally 3,050 items. So his store is gonna be packed. He doesn't need trade-ins for months. You guys are all set, bro. I don't even think he has. I don't even know if he has room in the whole store to put everything all out at the same time. He's probably gonna have to like trickle stuff out. He's probably gonna put more of the good stuff out first to make it look better. I was going to do a trade with Chris from Retro Games Plus. He's not gonna watch this channel either. I didn't know how busy he was when I was emailing him back and forth for like it was like 6 months or a year. I had to log all this stuff. We couldn't work out a deal. He's based out of California, so I would have had to have brought everything into a local shop here. And he wanted to do it in shipments. He didn't want to do it. I wanted to do everything in one deal. So that's as far as you're gonna get in the deals and the money that was going on. So I appreciate both of them. Really, when I posted the collection for sale, it was mostly resellers. It was half resellers and half game store owners that would respond to me that actually were interested, and everybody else was just fake interest or wanted pieces or certain things. Most of the resellers lowballed the crap out of me, probably to like half the extent, or like 75% of what the game store owners guys would at least give me, because they're trying to buy games for $10-20 to sell it for 100. You know what I'm saying? I get it. They're out there hustling. I'm not out there hustling. I don't hustle to go find all my games. I used to do that in the past, but not reselling. I never played the reselling game. So I'll get into the GTA stuff. So this is not in defense of Sony. It's gonna sound like a lot of like hate coming towards gamers, but you all knew this was coming since the PS5 first came out, and they made that physical version, and they made that physical Xbox. You knew that was the last one, and ever since then, obviously they've been making good money off of everything digital, because they wouldn't be going forward with it. Even before the PS5, they were getting that digital juice money flowing through their veins, and they love it, and they want more of it, and it's like crack, and they want it. And you've been too busy buying extra skins and guns and deluxe packages and extra maps and season passes and whatever not even collect DLC. You've been buying all that. You haven't been speaking with your wallets. You can sign all the petitions you want to. Now it really doesn't matter, because they're still getting your money. That's what matters in the end. So unless you reject the next console, or unless you stop buying digital like now, which you should have done like 5 to 10 years ago or more, longer, bro. This day has been coming. Literally, I don't know why everybody is like in shock now. Like, oh my god, no more physical, and all the game stores are gonna go out of business. The game store owners already knew this. Like when the Switch 2 came out, they're like, yes, you still play, have a physical thing. PS5 came out, Xbox came out. Of course, they're happy. They all knew that it wasn't gonna happen after that. Like Nintendo might not follow suit now. They'll follow suit next time. They're not stupid either. Like it's not a new game. It's not new income. They've been getting this for a while. They've been used to it for a while. They've been feeding it to you for a while. You've been buying it for a while. You haven't been bitching for enough for a while. You haven't been speaking with your wallets. So, I mean, am I gonna be sad? Of course. Like, I would rather have I'm gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6. I'll wait the month. I'll get the physical version. But how many of you are gonna do that? How many of you are gonna buy that game in the first month and buy all the extra places you can go to, or extra skins, or whatever the hell the deluxe edition they got going on, and they're gonna be happy? They're gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars in the first month, and then they're gonna put out a physical disc that's probably not even going to have the data on it. It's just going to be an unlocked disc. It's just going to be to appease you. And you're going to buy all that stuff up too. And they're not going to even care that they didn't even put the data on the disc. Bro, they won't even, they don't even give you like more than a terabyte or two in a hard drive. They're going to have to start doing it. You'll start. Is it going to be gaming is about to be expensive. you like it's already expensive. I'm not even getting into the videos on RAM or memory or hard drives or this. I don't have data. I don't have facts to throw at you. It's already expensive. It's already getting more expensive. You got tariffs too. It's gonna get worse, and it's gonna get worse, and it's gonna get worse. And there's like, what are you gonna do about it, bro? Um, I don't bitch about it on a daily basis. I don't get upset about it. Um, it's the same thing as Blockbuster going. It's the same, like you can have your resurgence of movie shops now. You can still have your limited stuff going on at Walmart. Like it's all going to end at some point, whether you like it or not, and it's probably going to happen sooner than you think. There might be a fight. You might put up a fight, okay? You might put up a fight. You might be able to get something done this time. What's going to happen next time? You're not going to keep winning the fight over and over and over again. People like me are going to die off. People like younger people can be like, yeah, I'm excited about physical media, want to get back into collecting. But how many of them are really doing it? How many of them are going to stick with it? And how many of them are going to have kids they're going to have? It's a dying game. Um, and that's also how I feel about the collection. Is if I live to be 60 or 70, is my Atari stuff going to be working? Is the whatever it's worth, 5,000, whatever the hell this collection is worth, 10,000, is it going to even be worth that? Nobody cares about Atari now. Is anybody going to care about Atari 20 years from now? No. No, it's just going to be in a museum on a shelf. Like, look at this cool antique thing that doesn't work and it's broken, and we don't want to fix it because then it wouldn't be original. It's gonna be like trading cards. It's gonna be like Pokemon cards, bro. So I'm going off on like 50 different things, and that sounded horrible. It's just me pointing at all you gamers, but I literally knew this day was coming for like dumb long, dumb long. Um, I didn't know for dumb long that I was gonna sell my collection. I really thought I was gonna pass it along. I just started getting maxed out with space. I really thought I had a good 5 or 10 years more to go before I started getting maxed out in space. A lot of it has to do with me adding more movies and other stuff to the room too. So whatever. Is that all I wanted to say about GTA 6? Yeah, I'm getting the physical. It's gonna suck. Am I gonna pay for the extra stuff? Probably not, because whatever it looked like, it wasn't cool. But you never know. I might be a sucker, and I might buy it too. Um, is that it? Is that it for the old man ramblings? I think so. I think so. I think that's it. I think being awake for 20 hours is enough, and I need to go eat some food and go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and go buy a new lawnmower, bro, and go out to eat somewhere because I'm fancy. Um, that's another thing I was gonna say. There you go. I'll end it here in a second. I could have adjusted my spending in like 10 different categories in order to keep the collection. Um, Traveling is a big expense. Uh, Doing my nails or tattoos is a big expense. Restaurants is a big expense. Um, Me taking the time off of work was a big expense. I lost a lot of money taking the time off of work recently. So there's 5 or 10 other things where I could have adjusted my spending, and I could have just been like, "Fuck it, I'm keeping the collection." Just didn't do it. Uh, that's it. Old Man Collector vlog complete. I'm out. End of line.